Hey everybody, welcome back to The Loop. Yesterday and again today, we're looking at the Old Testament book of Zephaniah. We're learning that we can't just live any way we want and think that God will just turn a blind eye or act like a permissive parent. Just like you would discipline your children, God disciplines His children. But I want you to understand the purpose of His discipline. I need you to think about it like this. Discipline is different than punishment. Punishment is imposing a penalty on someone for what they did. And so you speed and you get punished with a fine. Punishment is making someone pay a price for what they just did. I need you to understand that Jesus already paid the price for our sin. That's why God doesn't punish His kids. Instead, He disciplines His kids. You see, discipline is a way of training someone to practice a healthier behavior. I have to have financial discipline to spend less money than I make. I have to have the discipline to go to the gym if I want to be physically healthy. Discipline is intended to drive out unhealthy behaviors from our lives. That's what God is doing in the book of Zephaniah. In chapter 3, God's intentions are clear. In chapter 3, verse 9, God says, I want to purify the lips of my people. In chapter 3, verse 11, He talks about removing the pride or the haughty spirit from His people. Yes, throughout this book, God is causing some bad things to happen to His people, but it's not to punish His people. The intent is to change His people. Jesus died on a cross, and when He did, He took the punishment that we deserve. But just because He took our punishment doesn't mean we won't endure some discipline. Both the Old Testament and the New Testament remind us of God's discipline. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 12, and passages like Hebrews chapter 12, verse 6 say this, For the Lord disciplines those He loves, as a father disciplines the son he delights in. God's discipline is a good thing. In fact, Hebrews chapter 12, verse 8 says that if you are not disciplined, then you are illegitimate children and you are not true sons of God. If you're a follower of Jesus, you can rest in the grace that Jesus has given you. But when you sin, you can also appreciate the discipline that God gives you because it's an indicator that you really are one of His children. He loves you and He wants to make you into the man or the woman that He knows you can be.